Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Bear It All, the podcast with your girls, Jay and
Day.
And we have a beautiful guest. Her name is Dez. She is a phenomenal art curator. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Okay, who specializes in sneaker arts. I'll let her introduce herself.
I am Dez. I also go by Flykickz. I'm an artist that specializes in cutting up sneakers for a living and creating canvases out of them. In addition, curating my own events and youth workshops and doing a lot of things in the community right now.
Okay. I know y'all guys are gonna be all up in my inbox and all this stuff. Okay, so pipe down, relax. Okay, she's here for business, not for y'all little septic tank.
Oh, you like that?
I'm just joking. I know I actually do like that.
It
All
is.
right. So first things first, we met. I want to say maybe 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It was about 5 years ago on another podcast that I was on, and I felt like it was like an instant connection. Yes. I think that you are beautiful, amazing. We went to lunch afterwards. Mm-hmm. We were probably supposed to do a few other things after that, but anyway, you're here.
I am.
And I felt like the platform that I want to create is just for people to showcase who they are, learn something from one another. I'm about women empowerment and making sure that we give each other our flowers while we're here. Yes. Because often, more than not, we point the fingers, we hate on each other, and I think we're just all beautiful in our own ways. And I know you have something coming up, and I said, I gotta get this girl on here.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. So you have so tell us who you are really, right? Describe yourself. Let our viewers know what you're doing, what's going on lately. What you have. You have some stuff going on coming up.
Man, to describe me is I'm a extremely passionate individual. I'm driven. I don't really let anything stop me. Well, people see problems, I find solutions.
And I see that.
I so beautiful. That.
What's your sign?
I am a Scorpio.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah. No, I am intense. Like, I'm beautiful mayhem. Like I make it. I make beauty out of the chaos. Over the years, like as you mentioned, it's been almost 5 years. Mm-hmm. Time is really flying, and the evolution of me as Flykickz has grown immensely. So to be able to do the things that I love, be able to utilize my voice, be able to create my own opportunities when opportunities weren't necessarily given to me. It's like, if I can't have a seat at the table, I'm going to build my own.
Mm-hmm. I know that's right. I love that. What's the thing that they're doing now? Either this or like this. I don't know which one's right. Whatever. Y'all can just tell me. But I love that. And I think that needs to be celebrated. For one, that's a mindset. And so, talk about where you're from, right? And what you kind of saw growing up and how that shifted, because I think that speaks volumes with who you are as a person now, your drive, your ambition, especially knowing like where you're from and how it's like you defy odds. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm.
I'm originally from Trenton, New Jersey. Trenton really showed me who I desired to be, who I wanted to become as a woman. And it also showed me that there is so much more of a bigger world outside of a 7.6 mile radius. But it is a place where, growing up in Wilbur section, it made me feel like I could thrive anywhere. If I could survive Wilbur section, we could survive growing up in Trenton. We can really create a way to thrive in any place, hence why, once I became like 17, getting ready for college and moving to New York, no friends, no family. And I was just like, see you guys.
That's right. You moved to New York.
I moved to New York when I was 17 to start college, and really gave birth to the idea of Flykickz. But I always knew that no matter how much I had grown, I never wanted to forget where I came from. Hence why I do all my community work in Trenton, because that's where my heart is. My parents are still in Trenton, and they are some of the best parts of me.
Yeah, I literally see how you celebrate your parents, and I think that is so amazing because not everybody has that
positive things to say sometimes, and the way how we were raised.
And, a lot of it is trauma, especially it's hard to see nowadays, or it's not often that you see like two parents and people who are like so celebrated and like this like one love. I just love that unity. So I think that's amazing.
Well, thank you. Yeah, they're pretty awesome.
Yeah. I said, okay, look at her good looking parents. That's what they created. Okay, so do you think that like your love for art was an escape for just like maybe, like how many, would you say the mile radius was?
7.6 mile radius.
Do you think it was an escape? Because sometimes people look to, if you can't remove yourself out of a certain, environment, you create that escape.
For me, so I am the only child. My mother,
which means she's spoiled.
My mother and my father. Ironically, it's so funny that it wasn't like that. Kind of growing up, but for my mother and my father, I'm their only child, and there are some people who are the only child that want to have siblings and they wish they had siblings. I never wished. I always wanted it to be me because art was that friend. Art was the company. Art was self-discovery. And as I would go through things, even as an adult, where I had lost myself, art helped me find me, rediscover who I was and who become the woman I had always prayed to be. So, and that's why, I really owe a lot to being in love with so many facets of art to really keep me grounded, because life be lifing.
You said the key word is grounded. And I think that's, and I know like even for Day, she's more, spiritual. You walk into her place and it's like very zen and she has music and, and that's honestly like, I'm about like meditation and feeding yourself, like constantly feeding yourself.
It's the opposite of what I perceived. It was like, oh, like you said, I'm outspoken. When you enter to my space, it's like, it's not the same person. I'm like, no, this is why I let people
You're so crazy.
think.
You need that.
Yes. No. So
I'm true.
Just like you took art, I took sports. My thing was running. So I'm a loner.
I do my miles every morning.
Yes,
I don't play
I'm
around.
a loner.
You really do. And I'll be like, you know what? She's inspiring me while I'm laying in the bed. No.
So that's why I was doing in St. Martin too. I was running. I was running every day. It's extremely hot right now, but I was running. And
because
that's
running releases endorphins.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was sweating. I was like, okay, I could go another mile. But it's by the time you're done. So I did it differently. I live on the beach. So after my run, I go straight to the beach for an hour or two.
That makes sense, yeah.
So for me, it's like that sand, and then I listen to the waves, and not bragging, but I was like, I love this life now.
Yeah,
isn't that amazing?
It gets to a point that's so sad, and that's where we come in. When you heal that inner child, that's what's going on, because we have some traumas. I don't know your situation growing up, but we all had traumas, and when you come to an age, we're not talking about age, but you come to an age that you said, I'm setting boundaries, like we said before. I'm healing that inner child, because we all have to heal that inner child, because things happen to us that we don't speak about, that only us know. And then when you heal that, and then you see yourself now forward, it's like, I work for this. I see it the way how you see it.
I
like,
love that girl right there.
I
love her.
That's why I said, people's like, oh, you have a good life. I was like, yes, I work for it. Like, yes, I did. That's why people's like, you could do the same thing I did. Just look at the positive. I refuse to see anything negative. If you tell me this is black, I'll tell you today, yes, this is black to make you happy. I won't even argue with you.
Yep.
But I know it's white.
I'll be like, you got it.
Yes. And then we say like,
I'm not in the business of trying to convince
you.
No matter what it is.
Absolutely.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So that's why I said, well, when you come mature, and then you be like, and that's my favorite line. That's a you problem. Dejana loves herself. Dejana loves all of this. If you can't handle it, that's your problem. Dejana loves herself. So if I were too much for you, okay, ahí está la puerta. The door's right there. Yeah, like
there's a door
right there.
Oh, there's a door.
Like, no beef. No beef. I love you. I'm still gonna love you. We can't connect. But that doesn't mean I don't love you. I love everything for you.
So let's talk about what who, I mean, I'm sure your parents inspired you, right? But who else inspired you to create these sneakers? Like, what was like an inspiration behind that?
So you know how some people say, they have mentors and things like that. And fortunately, it really just stems to my parents. Like, don't get me wrong. Also, how I grew up, being, however people like to categorize things now, being biracial, coming from a Hispanic background, and also being Black in a time where a Hispanic and a Black person together, where that wasn't necessarily not everybody love that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yes.
culturally, having coarse hair, having extremely curly hair, and being different, where you're trying to figure out who you are. Like, okay, my Spanish isn't perfect, so now I'm la negrita. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and then
I want to be a beautiful negrita,
you know,
beautiful, and that's why people are intimidated by that.
You know,
it was nothing that you
They over
negrita.
here got their own little.
So negrita is like she's
little
black,
little
but
Spanish
it's not
side
because the
conversation.
problem is like we were talking about, and I'm sorry for interrupting. When she said negrita is because I didn't fit in, just like how you didn't fit in growing up.
You're
You're too
darker
light
skin,
skinned.
yeah.
You're too this. So when they say la negrita in Spanish, it's like you're the black one of the
it's like,
family. So I'm the black one, just like her. So I understand what she's saying. It's like the beautiful one.
Then it's
because
also
that's
your
what it
hair
is.
being different. Like
Exactly.
you think you're better because your hair is longer.
I literally just said that. Yeah.
You know, so just taking all of those different things and figuring out a way to be inspired, being fueled with passion. You know, where it's just like, okay,
You gonna learn who I
like,
am today.
you're gonna figure out. You don't want to be my friend? Fine. You know, and then taking all of that passion and being inspired to create. And I'm always aware of my surroundings. So where people see trash, I see treasure. You know, and I go, oh, like the other day, walking down the street, somebody threw a brand new pair of Air Force, but not brand new pair, but they were in a box.
I know
they
you were
clean. And I was just like,
up.
I was like, I'm gonna get you when I come back from this run. I'm gonna pick you up. So my mind is like, oh, y'all threw these out. That's less sneakers I gotta go get now to create art. Thank you.
Yeah.
You know, so I think I look at all things and I'm like, I don't ever really feel like I'm at a disadvantage. And I think that's what really just kind of inspired me and became my source of inspiration outside of, you know, family and school and those different things, you know?
I love that. And you know what? Not everybody has that strong mindset. I feel like there's certain people that are just
Willpower.
different and created different. And it's like, you don't know why, you know, like, like for even myself, like I've gone through a lot of things, a lot of trauma, but I always felt like I was different. Like I felt like I just saw things differently. I'm looking at everybody else and I'm like, I just don't, I don't know. There's something that you just feel. And being you know, an only child, you have to occupy yourself. You have to find ways to, you know, give yourself some kind of attention or like, you know, distractions and things like that. Maybe that's what's wrong with me. I was not an only child. I got a billion siblings. Okay. Maybe that's what, and I had a billion kids. Man, that's what's wrong with me. I knew it.
Everybody's different, Jamie. Like in my case, I'm the baby of the house. So no, but it's the opposite.
But you see how funny, cause I went, just like you guys went, only child spoiled, and it's like,
No,
that wasn't.
You know, the funny thing is you said that you didn't want to have any siblings. You're like, no, I want to be the only kid. It's like all the attention.
I was very possessive of my mother. I didn't want even people touching my mom. Like, you know, like she just was like this delicate rose. Do not put your bad aura on my mother and have that lingering all over.
So who do you link to more, your mom or your dad, or it's different?
So I often say to people, I was my father's son and my mother's daughter.
That's beautiful.
You know, so idolizing. It's like, you know, they want you to be more ladylike, but it's a learning. I'm learning more of that because I've idolized my father. I've always looked up to him. I've always liked to wear sneakers and be that tomboy.
But you are.
But
feminine.
now as I embrace where I feel safe, where I feel secure, where I feel that it's okay to be vulnerable, because a majority of the time, women, we tend to be in survival mode. You know, so it's like, how can I take off my cool? How can I be more feminine as you would like, or being more vulnerable if you don't create an environment that makes me feel safe and secure? Why should I be?
Listen,
wasn't we just talking about that?
There has to be
we
like
just was talking about that before.
There has to be like some type of like program that you can that people can buy, like that says this, like put it all over the billboards, okay? But it's very true. And so me looking at you from the outside in, and I think other people would say this too, if and I'm sure you get a lot of, you know, attention and DMs, you know, but it's not just so much like the outer beauty, like you're very beautiful on the outside, but you have this like feminine type of class, type of edgy, type of sexy, type of like, yeah, there's some masculinity in there, you know, but it shows a true depiction of a creative woman. And I'm sure that's what the world sees when they see you.
And I think that's really kind of, in a way, why I get a pass for a lot of things, because as artists, we're like, they're artists, you know, it makes sense.
It's an excuse,
you know, but it is, you know, as artists, we are a collection of a lot of different things.
Yeah.
You know, so people, you know, being at peace with who you are and having that Zen-like energy about you. But when you're fueled with passion and you're like, I just got to get it done. Like, you know, there are many different versions of me that create the woman that I am. And it does not mean that I'm putting on a facade. It just means I allow you access to see certain variations of me more than others.
I love that. I allow you access. We're gonna talk a little bit more into that, because that's some good stuff. So I want to know early on, like when you first, how old were you, or when did you first start creating your first piece, and what that was?
So I've been actually an artist kind of since I was like maybe 8 years old. I initially wanted to be a writer, so I would write like short stories, and you know, growing up, I was really good at poetry. Okay, so doing poetry slams where I would win.
Really? Yeah. Okay.
But now I'm more kind of a recluse with that. But, you know, when it came to sneaker customizing, you know, that's where I started. Flykickz started as a sneaker customizer, where, you know, watching the videos and seeing like the different artists and everybody wearing custom Air Force Ones. I was like, I can do that too. And that wasn't until around like maybe 2008 where I was like, yo, I got this. I could really do this. And I was living in Queens at the time when I even came up with the idea of becoming Flykickz. And it's been like, man, it's been pretty amazing since then.
I don't think I know anybody else that is doing that.
Not doing the style of art that I'm doing now. And I pride myself on that.
Like, I have never seen it. And
neither have I. That's the first
artists,
time.
but I've never seen it before. So I was very interested. You know, I know about a couple of things, you know, for my daughters, and they still. So the other day I seen it, I was like, oh, you still got your money pouch? It's so cute.
Thank you.
You know, because it's been a while, but okay. So the first piece you created.
First piece I created, in any art. Do you mean as far as like sneaker related or just
sneaker related?
Sneaker related, I'd say probably 2006, based on the last Google I did. I sliced a pair of sneakers in half and mounted it to a canvas.
Now, did you paint it or anything?
I had already kind of been customizing sneakers at the time. So I like cut it and just kind of attached it to a canvas. But to get the style that I have now, 2016 is where I created. That's when Instagram kind of introduced the videos kind of for the first time around. That's long. It was like a while ago.
I see you do your videos. You know, you're like a photographer.
Setting up my tripod.
Listen, you got to do what you got to do. So you're like a one-man army. You know.
Yeah, but
entrepreneur. That's what we have no choice.
Yeah.
So it's been a minute. So I definitely say maybe around like 2006 when I kind of really taking advantage of the sneaker, being in love with sneakers and art.
Okay. I love it. So what themes like often show up in your work? Like can somebody just say like, oh, she's more like, I don't even know if it's like urban style or she does a lot of like I don't know, like
my style is like really the consistency that I have is that it's created with sneakers, but my concepts could vary. Like, you know, it could be an idea that came to me in a dream, and I'm like, you know, that I like, for instance, one of my pieces that I really love that I'm going to actually debut at my show is called Árbol de la Vida, the Tree of Life. And it pays homage to, you know, my great grandmother. So the tree's is made into a Puerto Rican flag. You know, and you see the roots and you see all these different things, you know, so I can have something like that. And then I can create a Wu-Tang logo on canvas, you know, so.
Look, can I grab that now?
Yeah.
I have that. Okay, hold on 1 second. Wait. Un momento, por favor.
Oh, así mismo.
All right, so let's see. So here is.
I made that out of Air Force Ones. Yeah.
So, like, let's look at this detail.
And that was a really long time ago. My goal is eventually to turn that into the Takal symbol and for it to be a piece for Method Man. So we're going to work on that.
Okay, so, so a piece for Method
Man. That's the goal.
Shout out to Method Man. That's all I'm going to say. You know, I respect
But so my concept really just varying, but more importantly,
far away you don't even know. It's like it just shows texture, you know.
And that's the most important thing, how the style has evolved. Like before, people were just like, oh, that's sneaker art. You know, no one really got it. Now from afar they see it as art, and then up close they realize that it's sneakers. And
that's what happened when I saw it. Like, wait, let me say, like, oh,
like, okay,
you know, once you realize
especially
the texture,
the one caught me. I don't know if you want to show it. The other one, it drew. It just draws my attention. I don't know what it is about that one. With that one, I love.
Let's see.
I love.
Yeah, you can
this
go ahead
one.
and show that one.
This one is like,
it's really cool. So it's my Nefertiti.
Yes.
And it has like a lot of different symbols. I don't know. Yeah.
But like everything is
made out of sneakers.
Like,
so,
and crown.
So so it's made out of all sneakers, made out of Air Force Ones.
Yes.
So,
she's a queen. That's why it represents a queen, but power. I see that as empowerment.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's what it was always like when I first came on the scene. I said, I'm going to be myself. I was wearing crop tops at like my first events many years ago. I still
Nothing wrong with that.
You got the body,
but it was like one of those things. Like, all right, I'm showing up dolo to these events when people have squads of 10 and 15 at a table. I'm showing up initially in my sweatsuit, and then I'm going in the bathroom, changing my clothes, and it's like, oh, really? This is what we doing today? This is what we doing.
But there's a level of confidence that you exude, and it just goes to show that you are unapologetically yourself, where you don't need anything else to kind of dictate who you are. And I think, meaning other outside influences. And I think that has its own level of beauty. And sometimes it comes with some negativity because you are a confident woman. So speaking on that, have you experienced that in just any opportunities you tried, or just like, maybe people not being so warm to you or welcoming?
A lot of things would throw people off initially. The fact that I wear black almost all the time. It's always definitely a story behind that. But initially it's like, oh, why don't you wear other colors? Now, for branding, when I'm taking promotional pictures for people or there's collaborations and it's just in the photo, I'm always bigging up different brands and wearing different things.
Yeah, I see you wear other colors,
but as far as wearing
black.
outside wearing different colors, black is who I am. Black is my staple. Black is my trademark. And I think that kind of really made people uncomfortable. The fact that I would even do it in the summertime. It's like, it's 100 degrees outside but when you get to the point, you have to get to the point where I say, what you think about me is none of my business.
Oh, you sound like me. I love you. No, seriously.
But you say it so eloquently.
Yes, I'm just raw.
This one be like, I don't care, block that.
I am raw. So the thing is, I was raised in the islands, so I wasn't raised in the States. So I still have that rawness in me that people can't handle sometimes, and I don't mean it.
I know. I'd guess,
but I'm like,
she sensed it.
I was like, it is what it is. You want me to lie to you in your face? I'll lie to your face. I'll be like, oh, you're so beautiful. Like, no, you ugly ass. No, but I don't mean it that way. But it's just like, I'm so raw, and people take offensive to that. Even when I go back home, the new word is, you're too Americanized. I'm like,
well, that's just like,
so like when we sit on a that's like,
accepting.
So I'm Dominican, Dutch, and I'm American. So that's why I said, like, which one you want today? Which woman you want today? You let me know, because all three are the same. They're still going to tell you F off in the nicest ways I can. Not cursing. But I was like, you want me lying in your face, or you want the truth?
But I think sometimes
it's the way how sometimes I say it. Yeah. Maybe it comes out too bluntness.
But we've experienced that even just if you feel different, look different, or socially is more accepted, or
people might think that you're, I remember in first events, like, I kind of used to go to other, art shows and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, my shoe collection is crazy. I'm I'm even being 5'10", I'm going to wear a shoe with a heel on it. Know that, but going to these events sometimes and being uncomfortable because you have to wear shoes, when I knew I should have just worn my sneakers. Like, it's not every event need shoes, but once you kind of figuring out your style and figuring it out, you come to that realization, I'm going to show up as me. If you don't want me to wear this, don't invite me.
Exactly.
Right. You know what I mean? And so,
or let me know, then let me know so I can make a decision whether I
plan accordingly. So, when I kind of, in the beginning, or just showing up as myself, and they have I've been to events early on where people are like, oh, you can join us over here. No, I have a table over here. Why would I move my table to come over? And I can show love and still remain an individual.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that people, unfortunately, not everybody can lead. That
1000%.
Even when you have like strong teams, like you may have a person that's at the forefront. It doesn't mean that you're excluded, because it takes all of us to make the strong team. But oftentimes there is somebody that's at the forefront. You know what I mean? Now we let our other people in and we acknowledge them. Like, this is because of this person, that because of that person. But yeah, it was just so many things throughout my journey where I had to be like, you know what? Listen, they know what I'm about. Like they understand. If you want me around, if you want me around, or you don't. And if you don't, I'm cool with that too.
Yeah.
This is like the statement I just kind of did. It's like, I'm a runner, you're a runner. It's like a relay race. You need 4 people, but you're running 4x4. So this is like, I'm going to use this. That's what you say. We all do the same thing, but a different pace. So you need a fast one for the last one, and you need the first one to be faster than the second and third. The second and the third, they could go with pace and space, but you need that last one to go in, finish the race. We all doing the same thing. We all going to get the trophy, but we all need to work as a team.
Which is why I think that I'm sure a lot of people want you in their art collection or exhibits or things like that, just because, you might have multiple artists, but wow, look, this is different. Everybody has their own purpose and brings something different out of the person.
We all fit, but we all
a little. We got our own niche. We all think.
Exactly.
So what's your favorite type of like showcases or displays or things like that? Or favorite thing to do?
My favorite thing to do,
like, I guess, answer the first one first, okay? And then your favorite thing to do, like, in a sense, where like art, like, where do you like your art to be? What kind of connects you?
You know what I like? I like events where being surrounded by people who just get it, who just appreciates it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Where it doesn't have to be a debate as to, nothing is, over the years, I understand that people are not going to always get what I do. And I love to have that conversation about what inspired me, why I chose sneakers, why I don't choose other things. But then the conversations when you have certain events where people try to, you should do this. No, I should do what I'm doing.
Yes.
I
think because sometimes if offering me an opportunity and saying, hey, I have this opportunity, I'm not sure if you were interested, is different than, you should do this.
Yeah. And then we can have you a part of something, so where I've gone, where now I am very selective of the events that I'm a part of. Who are they marketing to?
I might turn it down.
Who are they speaking to? Who are their attendees? Not to be snobby, but it's like being in a room where your work isn't appreciated, and when you as an individual isn't valued. I could be at home getting the relaxing, watching a movie, which I seldomly get to do, instead of being here with you.
Right.
So when I think about certain events where I've loved, where people are just like, you're talking to the artist to the left of you and the right of you, and it's like, yo, I love what you're doing. I love what you're doing. Let's take a picture. Let's follow each other.
Yes.
Where everyone just feels good that we are in a room feeling like we're surrounded by love. Like it just feels right. Versus
a lot of creations.
Being at an event where it feels like I'm holding my breath because I've been there.
Yeah, like
I've been
I don't know
I cannot wait to get home. Like I cannot wait. And as soon as I walk out of the room, it's like, whew.
The energy.
Thank you.
Intense.
You know what I mean? So now that I've learned to just kind of
being selective.
And being a little bit more selective, and realizing like sometimes it takes for you to look at your resume like, listen, don't play me like this my first rodeo. Like I've been doing this. I'm new to you, but I've been doing this.
I might be new to this, but I'm not true. Whatever. I don't know.
So just being in the rooms where
it's not my first rodeo.
Yeah, where it just feels like I'm glad that I took a break out of working on art to come here and be here with you. That's the places that I love to be.
Okay, so tell us what you have going on coming up, because I'm excited.
I'm excited. So I'm preparing for my first solo exhibition in the gallery. For those who may be familiar with what I've been doing, like over the years, I've been getting grants to curate experiences for the community. So I've curated other art shows in the last 2.5 years. I have done maybe 4 or 5 different shows where I've highlighted 50 different visual artists, where I've created youth workshops for kids and gifting them free sneakers to customize. So now, for the first time, I have something that really where it's just me. And it feels very foreign because I'm used to like overseeing like so many different artists and submissions and curating it and raising the money for it, looking at the venue. Now it's like, all I had to do was control me, figure out my time, get a little bit more discipline, and create. And to create this body of work, my show is called Depths of My Soul. My opening reception is November 7th at Artworks Trenton in Trenton, New Jersey.
So listen, it is free.
It is free. All are welcome.
So I don't want to hear any excuses, okay? Exactly. Then know why you can't come. You can come support. Drop off a flower, right? Yes. Something. Go there and to support and show. Yes.
And it's a few days after my birthday, so it's a celebration of not only more art, but more experiences. It's just being in a room that feels like love. I want people to be intentional about coming. Like they want to be there.
So I have a question. How many pieces are you going to have?
So in about 70 days, I've created 25 new pieces. I'm talking like I had to source the sneakers, so I have all my work features sneakers. So I've utilized sneaker boxes, sneaker tissue. Really? And I really dug deep for this. And to create those pieces, like I was turning around pieces
That's a
really
lot.
fast.
That's what I'm saying for it's 25 for.
Like, and are they like all big pieces?
I have pieces
or
that are all 4 feet. I just have so many.
Okay, so you're going big.
And I was just like, I feel like with this show, something in my spirit just feels like this is going to change the trajectory of a lot of things for me. People in other shows, I've had modest size pieces because you don't bring out the big boys when you have to share a space with a lot of different artists, so this shows people
all you,
the caliber of artist that I am. Like if you thought I was pretty good at what I did before, wait until you see this.
Okay. That's beautiful.
So I'm excited.
I love that. I love that.
That's what you call confidence, and I love when a woman's confident. I celebrate.
Well, she's a Scorpio too. So
but I celebrate when women are so confident. I find that very attractive. And it's just like
she doesn't like women.
I don't like women either. You know that.
I'm trying to throw that in there.
I'm not working about it. Trust me. The last thing is I'm not into women, but I do when I see a beautiful woman and I feel she's so confident. It's like my soul is like. Hi, another one just like me.
And I love that because it shows that you acknowledge the fact that the way you shine doesn't dim my light.
Exactly. And I love that. I keep telling everybody.
There could be multiple people in a room that are all beautiful and amazing and still can have the same.
And that's what I keep trying to tell these women mindset. When I hang out with my girlfriend, it's like, no, ponte bonita. I want you to shine more than me. No, I'm already getting enough to shine. I want you to get everything. I'm done.
But you know what that is? That's ego. That's ego driven. That's insecurity that you feel like you have to be seen.
No, but I want them because
not you.
Like,
not you. I'm saying a person who cannot celebrate somebody else and has to make sure that they always are like in the limelight.
I know.
And it's ego driven. It's an insecurity that you have. Like what is it about you that where you can't let somebody else be the center of attention and it's bothersome.
They're so loca. That's how I say they gotta be crazy. Like, girl, no, you take the stage. I'm good. I'm behind. I'm right behind you.
This is your moment. Like,
shine, baby girl, shine. I'm one of those. I'll be like,
I love that.
So are there I want to ask you, so for this art piece, are there any like special guests like showing up that you know of, like maybe people I don't know, celebrities or
I'd say everybody that wants to be there will be there. But really, to be honest with you, everybody else is a bonus. But my parents being there is really the highlight to me because my father has seen none of my pieces.
Never?
No, my dad owns like 3 of my pieces, and he paid retail.
Pieces.
But
okay.
My dad don't play.
I don't know
if
you're selling that one, but that one I am obsessed with that one.
Yeah, she's a few thousand, but
okay, I gotta.
But
I gotta work on that one. But that one, that's a beauty.
Thank you.
That's a beauty.
Because it's a lot of work that goes into it.
I know, but it's worth it. I'm just saying that it caught my eye. I'm not really into art. I'm not saying because I like galleries. I go and I see the history, but I've never seen your kind of art. So when that caught my eye, I was like, that's interesante. Like there's something about it that it just catches me. It's like, I might own it. I don't know how, but I'm gonna own that one. Yeah. So I'm maquinando in my head. I'm like, she's like, couple of thousand. Like,
I'm
gonna figure it out. I'm gonna buy that one.
She raised our OnlyFans just so she can buy the art piece.
No, I wish. I don't have. See that I don't have the courage to do that OnlyFans crap. Maybe show the toes or something. Maybe I can.
People make money from that.
I know, but I don't. You see that I don't have it in me.
I gotta log into my account. Maybe somebody sent me a message. I don't know.
You did OnlyFans?
Yeah, I do. No, not OnlyFans. Feet Finder. All right. Anyway, this
oh
is not
God,
about me.
Jamie.
This is not about me. So okay, your parents being there,
and just a lot of people that I have supported over the years, even though we give without expectations.
Yes.
You know, but to see people there who that maybe been about part of youth workshops, to see the kids come out from, you know, local schools and things like that and be able to experience it, and everyone, the goal is, I dug deep for me to create this body of work, but when I tell the story about some of the pieces, I want people to leave inspired. I want people to feel like it's like hearing a good song. You're like, did they know about my experience? They like this song is about me. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So do any of the local, I know you're, you know, really community based, you're focused on that. So any of the schools like put out like, I don't know, little flyers, any schools you have connections with that kind of let the kids come? As
we're getting closer now, because we're almost a month out, you know, just reaching out to the schools saying, hey, you know, I've done, you know, workshops with you in the past one, and like, you know, that you and your students are more than welcome to come out. So just kind of reaching out to them, and, you know, because
like a school day trip.
You know,
because
like
what time
it's 6 to 8. But, you know, but reaching out to those schools and saying, hey, you know, make the, you know, student, because I think that when, especially with kids that come from where I come from, to see a person that looks like them, it changes the conversation. Like, wait a minute, you know,
wait, she can do this,
and that's what the goal is for them. Like, listen, come out, you know, come see what I do.
And I always say, because, you know, the work that I do is all based off, you know, at risk youth, lifting up these kids, showing them the possibilities that they never thought. And so I think that when they see somebody who came from where I'm from, oh wait, so now I have an opportunity. This is what I can do. So now, I'm sure there's so many other people who didn't even know that this is possible, and so you gave them that inspiration. So, do you do what I wanted to ask you when you do these like workshops? Is it like a few weeks? Is it like, how does that?
My workshops typically are you know, for a few hours, just a day. Okay. But the goal, although the icebreaker is the sneakers, you know, whether I'm bringing in canvas panels that we're painting, or we're painting 3D prints of sneakers, or we're customizing actual sneakers. The sneakers are the icebreaker, but it's the conversation. Being able to have that mental mental connection, being able to create a safe environment where they feel seen. And I think that, you know, working with at-risk youth, where I've been able to, you know, children that may have suffered, you know, traumatic experiences, someone who, you know, just wants to feel like appreciated, like, oh, you see me, and someone talking to them. I've even had workshops where, you know, kids really don't have friends, or they're being bullied, and now they have an opportunity to make a friend. You know, so it's really just those things. And now being able to see the kids come out like, you kind of look like me, you kind of talk like me, and this is what you do. Like,
how do I do that? You know? It's the hope dealer. That's exactly what it is. It's the hope dealer.
And that's you see, we all
I love
have our own live background, and I'm hearing you guys are like, this sound like me. These are just like something, just because people think that island life is paradise. It's not what you think it is. It's beautiful for tourists.
You had made a comment about, like, sometimes people think like, oh, this is who I am all the time, but you go through things, right? And so when you're going through those things, I'm sure there's times when you might have a block maybe with creating. What is that like? Talk us through like what that looks like, if you have ever had those times where it's like, I'm stuck. I just can't get my mind right. And maybe you're kind of off track or a dark place or whatever the case is.
You know, years ago, it would take me so long to shake being in something going wrong. You know, where it was just like, I was waiting for the motivation to hit me, and, you know, or just being so lost, like, you know what I mean? And then when I started to really kind of just like really study myself a little bit more, really listen to other things, I realized that discipline is going to take me places that motivation can't. Because I don't wake up every day.
Say it one more time.
Discipline.
Discipline will take me places motivation can't. And, you know, it became easier for me to shake. Now, I ask myself now, can I change what's happening to me right now? Because if I can't change it, what's the sense of me dwelling on this for longer than it needs to be? I'm going to acknowledge it, you know, but I'm not going to spend weeks like whimpering around or feeling bad for myself. Yeah. You know, I say, okay, I can't, this is happening right now. What can I possibly do? If I have to, some things I just have to let it run its course. But now when I found just a few weeks ago, where it took me maybe about a day or two to shake a mood. And I said, well, Dez, why do you feel the way you feel? What can we do to change those things? What things can we put in place to leave us a little bit more inspired? You know, maybe having control of what I consume, like what I watch, what I listen to, because, you know, it's just like listening to a song that you in a happy mood and you listen to the song, slow song, sad song, that puts you back.
Yeah, it triggers a certain memory.
Understanding my triggers. And I'm like, so I've had the ability now where when I feel myself about to go down the rabbit hole, I said, don't do that, because we're going to be here all day. So I said,
that's beautiful, because that's when you take accountability.
Yeah, I take accountability.
So when you take accountability for yourself, and you're just like, you know what? I'll give it an hour. Maybe a day.
Yep. And that's what I do.
Because it's not even a day anymore. Before, things that took a week went down to 3 days. Now it's like, yeah, 10 minutes of that's bullshit. Bye. No, but that's how it is. Yeah, like it's a mindset too. So when you take accountability, like, it is what it is. Everything happened. This is me. Everything happens for a reason.
Yep.
Go through it. Cry if you have to. Yes. Cry if you have to cry.
Yep. Allow yourself to feel this. Do what you got to do.
Scream. Do whatever. Go for a walk. Do it and come back and reset. It's like, okay.
Yeah. No. Voila, the reset is important. So,
but that's what I do.
I always say, like, you can't. It's okay to go through things. It's okay to be in that place where it could be a dark place. It could be wherever emotional, whatever. It's fine. You just can't stay in that place.
Exactly. That's what I said.
That's what I said.
And one of the things is, if you can't change the circumstance or the environment,
change yourself.
What I had to learn is change the way you think about it. You know that this is what it is right now. Whether it's heartbreak, whether it's finances
in general,
it doesn't matter. Whether it's loss, this is what it is right now. What do I need to do to get myself to maintain, right? And then excel.
And then, exactly. That's exactly what it is.
I love that. Okay. All right. So
I have one question.
Yeah.
Do you have, like, well, you said your own artist since you're 8 years old, so I was listening to you. But anybody inspire you by 8 years old? Like, who influence, like, who, besides your parents? Who else, like, let's say, in the art world?
Probably Jordan.
Well, it's so funny, like, it's, like, because even, like, I think about this now, how I look at people and I go, wow, that's awesome. But they never inspire me to
create.
It's just like a very rare thing. When I also look at people as a person, like, you know, so when I'm reading, I'm a big reader. So I've always read, even as a kid, when I would read, I remember reading like Charlotte's Web, and I'm like, man, she just kept going. Like, you know, like, you know, like, that's just like different things like that. And I was like, I love when a good book leaves you inspired, where I'm like, I can take over the world. What's up? Like, you know, what's up? You know what I mean? So even as being an avid reader as a little girl, or I never forget, when I was younger, I played the violin for a few years, and they took us that's when they used to do big trips. They took us to see the New York Orchestra. And when I was a little girl, I remember saying, well, one day I want to move to New York. You know what I mean? At the time, I thought it probably would be.
So you were manifesting already.
Yeah, I was like, you know, I knew that's where I knew that's
opened your eyes to something totally
where I was kind of going to mold who I was even more, and that would be who I would be maybe for. It's certain things where people like I don't understand when you have a strong foundation. The strong foundation is what keeps a house up. You know what I mean. So I think that it was really, I always knew who I was, but around like 17 of moving to New York, moving on my own, that's really what solidified who I really wanted to be. And I think that going on those different cool trips as a kid would open up my mind that like everything is possible.
Yes. And the fact that you had because people do not have that. The fact that you had the support from your parents that actually gave you that foundation, showed you that they provided everything that they're supposed to provide, And so now anything you look at, anything you experience, you're like, I know what I got, you know, from the roots.
So let me
mean?
just, I have a train of thought of that. She had foundation, and I'm listening to her. At 7 years old, I had the same thing, but I had none of what she had. So I think it's more like a mindset.
Yeah.
You were born with that. Because I was the opposite of her. I had nothing going on for me. And I'm not trying to put myself in a spot, but I'm here today.
That's like
so when I think it's a mindset.
It's the fake it till you make it. Like, you got to psych yourself out. Like,
and I started at 7 years old.
You got to psych yourself out.
So, like the background, we were very poor. Like, I don't know your situation, but in St. Martin, I used to live behind, and I was proud. I just said that to the store. Like, I used to live behind Kentucky Fried Chicken when Kentucky Fried Chicken was there. 1-bedroom apartment with 5 of us, brothers and sisters, with my mom in the same bedroom, mom and dad. But I used to visit one of my best friends who was rich in the island. So my vacations was in her rich house. So
you were exposed.
I was exposed.
That's why you like all the guys with the big houses and.
I was exposed at 7 years old. How the rich live.
But you see that, like,
and
when
then
you're saying,
I know, but this is to say, I was exposed, and then all of my friends prior to that thought I was rich, but I wasn't rich. In my mind, I was like, yo no soy pobre, soy rica. I'm hanging out, and this is like, I'm rich.
A person who's rich in mind is never poor.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what I said when you said 7, 8 years old. It's like it's every 7 years something switches up. So when she said 17, I came here at 17, and I moved also here at 17 from an island. I call it from the banana boat because the islands are totally different lifestyles. So people are like, oh, we're in paradise. We're not in paradise. Paradise is not really paradise until, like you said, fake until you make it. When I got here, I was like, whoosa, pregnant, child. You know, my whole lifestyle is different than yours. But it's like,
but
it's a mindset.
You can still be successful just
but
because you
what
didn't
I'm
have,
saying.
just because a person can be in survival mode at a young age. Mm-hmm. And because I was, right? I have a lot of trauma. But a person can be in survival.
No, but it's not even about the trauma. It's just the mindset that we all have the same mindset. It's like you're going to, like you said, you're going to fake until you make it. Doesn't matter what right now. This is rotten. It's going to be green. For me, even if it's rotten, it's green. I refuse to say it's
definitely
rotten.
A mindset. And it also is, it's exposure. We all evolve based off of the things that we experience, you know, the connections that we make. And so, you know, I love that you were able to experience those things at a young age to be able to know, like, you know what, this is possible. This is who I'm going to be. Like, I already know it. I see it. And even though things may come, you know, trials and things like that may come along, might be walls that, you know, and because they're still going to be here, even you as a grown woman, really knowing who you are now, you're still going to have these walls, right? And you're going to be able to navigate through them.
Absolutely.
So I want to ask you, all right, so, you know, obviously your mom and dad were very influential. Has their relationship and that foundation that they built with themselves, how did that affect, like, your outlook on other future relationships for yourself as you started getting older?
Funny, like, as a kid, because my dad was a wild one. Like, wow. But, you know, it's like taming the beast, you know. But as a kid, it was just like, you know, he's doing all these things. Doesn't he realize this is wrong, you know? And watching my mother hold it down, and my mother had never spoken ill of my father. You know, it's not like some of the things that I see today play out with people, but my mother always talked, because it didn't change the fact that my father was being the best father that he knew how to be,
regardless of what.
And that's what people don't understand about parents. Sometimes they're just trying to do a little bit better than what they were given as children. Yes. So, you know, yes, it's not what we necessarily would think they should be doing, but they're just trying their really best. And my mother always acknowledged that, like, you know, that how great my father was as a father to me, you know. And just being younger, I didn't really understand it. Can I be like, oh, you putting her through the ringer? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, nah, I ain't gonna never.
You see things totally different.
But as I got older, and me and my father always make time to do our thing, whether it go in sneaker shopping, or we're riding a train somewhere where we can really tap in with each other and talk. I remember one day, like, kind of after, like, COVID, being on the train with my father. And we were going to Philly, I think, and we were talking. That'd be that time when my dad really trying to find out what's up. Like, you know, you can't leave the train. We on the train, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, just learning more about his story, who he was as a young man, and what he saw in my mother, and how he still feels to this day. He said, 10 women put together still can equate to one of your mother.
Beautiful.
And that does not change the fact that he was a wild man.
Right. And just because he I mean, he was a wild man or did X, Y, and Z doesn't mean that he knew where he belonged.
I think that he understood early on, like, you know, he was attracted to the little Spanish fly in the neighborhood, the one that everybody wanted to talk to, but she wasn't given a day of time. You see what I'm saying? And he realized that he saw the long run. He saw that this is going to be a woman of integrity. Yes. This is going to be the woman that's going to stand the test of time. She's going to make me a better version of me. She believed in me when nobody else did. Because you leave it up to some women, they want you in the hood all the time. You're making bread in the hood, that's good enough. You know, she always saw the greater version of him. And it wasn't until I became an adult, where it wasn't until a few years ago where I was like, I get it now. I get it why they work. You see what I'm saying? Because home is not a necessarily place. A place is a person. Mm-hmm. And my mother makes him feel like home. And realizing that now, it's like, I want someone that makes me feel just as good as I make myself feel, if not more. Where I can be silly, where I can be funny, where I'm not ashamed when I'm clumsy. When that person is like, I'm just like, you know, you get it. You know what I mean? And it's just like, now I understand, watching them and observing them a little bit more, where I was like, you know, I get why, even if I didn't get it, it wasn't my place to have to get why you guys are together. But, you know, I see why you guys work. I see why my mother is more, don't get me wrong, she don't play around, 5'2". Like, she ain't nothing, she ain't nothing to play with. But the way she makes him feel, and the way, you know, he creates this safe space for all of us, where you probably get some of the best sleep of your life sleeping at their crib. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? And now as an adult, where I'm like, you know, I understand why they love each other. I understand why they're loyal to one another, and just now having a greater outlook on, you know, relationships, where they say, you know, as unfortunately, I feel like with women, even being one of them, sometimes we come to men as, take me as I am. I want you to appreciate me. I want you to value me, that woman I am. Mm-hmm. But sometimes we look at a man and we say, well, you could be better if you changed X, Y, and Z.
They have to change.
They have to change what we want. Mm-hmm. So, and I feel like that's out of this. Love me where I'm not. Don't love my potential. Love me for who I am, and inspire me to elevate and become a better version of me. And to see that they appreciated one another, and they met each other right where they were at the time. And I'm like, you know, I get that now. I get that now. I'm being single for many years now, but I get that now.
You said single for many years. Why are you so single?
By choice. No, by choice.
No, so I'm glad you said that, because a lot of times people think that just because you have stuff going on, you know, if you're attractive or whatever, or you're so amazing, you know, you're single. Like, what's wrong? Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with it. It means that I'm very selective, and I feel like I haven't come across the person to take me off the market. You know, so is that what you're experiencing right now?
I don't actually date. Dating, the concept of dating is a little foreign to me. This is probably the first time I've ever really told anyone, but I've only been in one adult relationship, in my entire life as an adult. You know, I take relationships very seriously. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't, because when you've created this version of who you are now, and you've got it from the mud, and you work hard, and you do all these things, and you see what I'm saying? Like, you want me to turn down for what? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, you know, what? How can you compliment? Because I don't need anyone to complete me. I am complete. I am whole. But someone to compliment the woman that I am, someone that I inspire them, but it's like, it's a give and take, because we're all going to be taken. Yeah, it's just, you know, we're all. Yes. But I wanted to, like, my cup runneth over. Like, you can't. Don't let me allow me to pour into you and then empty myself, and you're not refueling me. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I'm at a space now where it's like, I think just like recently I became open to the idea. Like, you know, I wouldn't mind dating, but I think what's the vice with me is I don't want to be seen with everybody. That ain't because it's like, it's easy to kind of find out who I am and what I do. You see what I'm saying? I think that sometimes people love the idea of us.
Yes.
But
People do.
Yes.
People do love the idea.
I preach. Now I'm listening to her. They love the idea, what you represent. They love what you're coming, what you represent
But
as
you're a real
woman.
person, right? You have
But
a real
it's not
person with real emotions and feelings. And
yeah, but they
there's
go with that
more-
facade that that's what it is. And she wants the real. I want get to know me, not what I represent to everybody else. Come to me. Let me see my vulnerability. See me crying. See me hurting. See me laughing. See the real me, not the one that is in front of everybody else.
But when you come to me, be ready to be all those things you ask of me.
Exactly.
Okay, so when you come correct.
Come correct.
That's what we're saying.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Don't no nonsense.
You
Just
know
be
what I mean?
you.
Don't come with your unhealed
Yeah,
trauma,
because
trauma baggage.
I'm not fixing nothing.
Thank you. Amen. That's what I said. That inner child. No, seriously. That's what I said. Like, no.
Come to me healed and whole.
Yep. Fix your inner child because we all have that inner child trauma. And that's what I said. Like, no, I don't. I'm like, when you said I move, I'm like, no, it was just.
I'm gonna be in my soapbox real quick, okay?
You what?
Come to me healed and whole. Don't come to me as a representative, right?
Yes.
Don't come to her as a representative. Because, just like with a job interview, say you're coming to a job interview for carpentry and you've never done it, right? You may have watched YouTube videos. You may have helped somebody cut a rug before, but you don't know how to do carpentry.
Don't
right?
lie about it.
So
that's what I'm saying.
When you're going for the interview,
fake until you make it. You remember what she
you
said?
may
but
get
don't
hired
lie.
based off of who you are and what you show. But then all of a sudden, as you're doing the job is messed up. You're not handling things in a timely manner because you are not a carpenter. That's just an analogy. Like,
I understand.
Stop coming to the interview unready.
Yes.
And you know what? Even if your finances aren't ready, if there's things that you got to work on, work on that. It doesn't mean that you need the perfect person in order to like.
You can
somewhere.
still be a masterpiece and be a work in progress.
Yes. Yes.
Like, I've had people say that, oh, I got to get all my stuff together. The fact of the matter is, as humans, we're constantly evolving. So we're not going to ever have it all together.
Yes.
Because we're going to always have insatiable wants. We're always going to want more for ourselves. We're always going to want to grow. But I think the beauty of it is loving where you are now. You see what I'm saying? And I think that's the vice. I think not the vice, but I think that's the issue, because it's like, I don't want to be the most interesting person in the room. Mm-hmm. Like, I need you to be passionate about something. Mm-hmm. I don't care if you're passionate about collecting things, or you're passionate about gaming, or if you have
striving for success, or whatever the case is. I need you to want something.
Yeah, I need you to want something. And more importantly, I need you to want me.
Mm-hmm. Want me. Okay. I need you to be able to just not want to let me go.
All that.
Damn. Well, we're taking applications, guys. This is the interview.
This is the interview. It's funny.
Well, we're all single except for.
No, I'm not.
She's not single.
I'm sorry.
I'm just learning that too, y'all.
I'm just
trust me.
No, I'm not. No, and I'm
I love
happy
that. I
where
love
I'm
that
at.
your parents set the foundation, whether it was good, bad, rocky, whatever the case is. They set the foundation for you. They gave you that inspiration. They were able to show you how love changes over time. It's work that you have to put in. You're not always going to be happy. It's not about how you meet somebody or what they look to you. It's about the work that you guys do together. And if you know that the end game is this person, then you're always going to figure out a way to make it work with that person. And so I love that. I love good love, and I love what you do in the community. I love seeing how you inspire people, because, you inspire me. And I think sometimes you don't even realize the people that you inspire. And so over the years of like watching you, you see somebody, I'm working here doing this, but you see somebody who always stays true to themselves, are genuine and doesn't give up on who they are. And I see the involvement, the evolvement over these years. And I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
I really am.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
I'm definitely very proud of you, which is why you're here today. And I can't wait to go to your show on November 7th.
Yes, thank you.
So look, anything you want to say to your fans? Anything you want to say to, give some words of encouragement, even though you encourage everybody today, Lord.
Man, I just want to, really thank people for supporting me on this journey. Like not necessarily accepting, but meeting me where I am and understanding that this is who I am. This is who I choose to be. And you know, whether it's been people donating to projects or being awarded grants or people donating sneakers, because if it weren't for the people that donated sneakers from all over the US, I wouldn't have been able to create this caliber of work first and foremost, because I have so many donations where it allowed me to just really focus on the art. And something that I often struggle with is being vulnerable. It's not something that comes easy for me, and it's a choice too. I don't. It's just like I just was raised a certain way. Like you don't. Sometimes when you go outside too vulnerable, you get eaten alive by wolves. You see what I'm saying? So it's just knowing when to be that. But in creating my new artwork, depths of my soul, I had a block where I couldn't create. And the reason I couldn't create is because I was going against the grain. I was fighting it. I had to ask myself, how deep are you willing to go? You know, and once I wanted to be like, you know what, for people to see that, like, oh, I'm really good at what I do, I'm going to have to dig deep. And I had to revisit the earlier versions of myself. I had to acknowledge some of the pain that I have endured. I had to kind of give them a reflection of who I am and how I became who I am, who has inspired me, maybe who has broken my heart, you know, and to be as vulnerable as possible. And I ripped off the Band-Aid and I said, let's go. Yeah, and I think that with this show is just creating a space like, yo, it's okay. I have a part of it's a series in my show that says, you know, it's called We Bend What We Don't Break. My father always says that to me, you know, and I remember going through one of my first heartbreaks, was on my only heartbreak currently, and it nearly broke it tried to break my spirit. It really tried to break who I was as an individual, and I was just
open your heart to somebody. You are full. You're taking. There's no wall, right? You open up your heart, and you're allowing this person to. You're pretty much saying, handle with care. Here you go. You know, this is me.
But you know, with love, I often my thing is hearts break and they mend. It's hard, unfortunately, to see the rainbow in the midst of the storm, but sometimes you must endure the storm. And I think that creating this body of work is giving me closure. It has allowed me to forgive. And I mean, like, it allowed me to just kind of be like, you know what? This is who I am, the woman I prayed I would become. I am the little girl that wanted to be an artist. I am her. We did it, kid. You know what I mean? And
don't make me cry. You know, these emotions are high lately.
I'm sorry, you know, but I just
love that.
I'm in a space where don't judge me for running wild or running free. Run beside me. You know, I just.
You sure you don't want to write poetry again?
See, that's what the thing about it is. I write poetry.
I think he should.
I write poetry.
I really think he should. Honestly, not for real.
In my artwork, I do. When I talk to people,
art, and then I think you should really implement. You should.
But that's how I curate my shows. When anybody who's ever come to my show, I write blurbs next to my pieces to kind of tell that story. To really, you know, because people, you know, I don't have it all figured out. Every day, I'm like, all right, this is what we're going to do today. Like, my weekend to-do list right now is crazy. I'm like, yo, breathe. You got this. You see what I'm saying? You know, like, listen, you know what you got to do. Buckle down.
Feed yourself. Feed yourself while you're going through it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, with the pace ourselves, we got this. And I think that just working on the daily, I tell people, listen, you don't have to, sometimes you got to take one step forward even when you can't see the entire staircase. Like, that's what faith is. Like, you know, I allow my faith to be stronger than my fear each and every day. So that's what I would just tell people. That just
I love
do that.
Allow your faith to be stronger than your fear.
Every day.
Each and every day.
every day.
Love that. You guys, check out November 7th,
November 7th.
please.
And if I'm here, I'll be there.
What's the location?
Sure.
Artworks Trenton in Trenton, New Jersey. But I have a lot of great posts on my Instagram, Flykickz with a Z. I'm on my website, I am Flykickz as well, where people could just learn about who I am, what I do, and if they want to be there, be there. Please.
And guess what? Stop being so cheap and order a piece of art.
Yeah, listen, I got different price ranges, and I have a lot of different things because the goal is to allow people to have a piece of my world. all support is appreciated. I don't care if you spend $5, because the thing about it is, ultimately, people become collectors of our work.
Yes.
So they may not be able to afford a certain piece now, but the conversation should be, hey, what are your commissions? Could you do something similar? Could we build something together? Let's have the conversation, because you never know.
Who you're going to meet.
Sometimes I might just like you as an individual, and I'm like, you know.
So, and if you are interested, take the applications and come correct. Okay,
Leave the girl alone. She's
right?
like she's always trying to hook up people. She's
because
happy.
I know that they're gonna. All right,
yeah, but she's happy.
in the
Listen,
DMs.
when you least expect it, that's when it
like,
comes.
share, comment, subscribe.
Yes.
We're out.
Bye.
Thank you.